Let's stop pretending. Women aren't a mystery. They're not puzzles. They're not riddles. They're human, emotional, layered, intuitive. Yes, often unpredictable, but not unknowable. In fact, the truth is, most men just aren't looking in the right places. They're playing checkers while the game is chess. Because while some men are caught up in trying to win her, the wise ones, they see her. And that changes everything. This is not about manipulation, not about tactics. This is about awareness, presence, power. So, here are 9 truths about women that most men never learn. But once you do, you'll never see them the same again. 1. She doesn't want perfection. She wants realness. Most men grow up under the illusion that they must be perfect to attract and keep a woman. They spend hours curating the perfect image, crafting the ideal physique, learning witty lines, and pretending to be emotionally unshakable. But here's the hard truth. Women aren't looking for perfection. They're not waiting for some flawless hero to sweep them off their feet. What they truly crave is authenticity. Realness is rare. In a world drowning in filters, facades, and fake bravado, a man who is honest about who he is, flaws and all, stands out. Women can feel when you're performing. They can smell the insecurity behind the flashy car, the rehearsed lines, and the desperate need to impress. But when you show up as yourself, vulnerable, grounded, and unapologetically human, you become magnetic. The truth is, women are drawn to emotional maturity. They want a man who can admit when he's wrong, who's aware of his limitations, and who is still choosing to grow. Confidence doesn't mean never failing. It means owning your failures without letting them define you. That kind of self-possession, that's irresistible. So stop striving to be the perfect man. Start being a present one. Share your fears, own your story, show your real emotions without shame. When you drop the mask, you give her permission to drop hers too. And that's where real connection begins. 2. Her emotions are not a problem to solve. They're a world to witness. When a woman opens up emotionally, most men go into fix-it mode. She's crying. You immediately offer solutions. She's upset. You try to cheer her up or tell her everything will be okay. While your intentions may be noble, your actions often miss the mark entirely. You see, women aren't looking for a mechanic to repair their feelings. They're seeking a witness, someone who can sit with them in their emotional storm without judgment, without panic, and without running away. Someone who can hold space. Her emotions are not a puzzle for you to solve. They're a landscape to explore, a dance to join, a story to hear. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply be there. Say nothing, just listen. Nod, breathe with her, because when you try to fix her, what she often hears is, "You shouldn't feel this way." But when you witness her, she hears, "Your feelings are safe with me." This is emotional presence, and it's rare. It takes courage to sit with discomfort, yours and hers. But that courage makes you a rare man, a safe man, a powerful man. So next time she opens her heart, resist the urge to close it with a quick answer. Instead, step into her world and watch how deeply she begins to trust you. 3. The feminine is drawn to stability, like fire to oxygen. Have you ever wondered why women sometimes test men emotionally? One moment she's laughing, the next she's withdrawn. She says one thing, then does another. To the untrained eye, this looks like chaos. But to the man who understands the feminine, it's a call for groundedness. Women test not to play games, but to feel safe. They unconsciously seek out a man's emotional stability. When she throws emotional waves your way, she isn't hoping you'll drown. She's hoping you'll prove you're the shore. This is where most men fail. They either react emotionally, arguing, pleading, withdrawing, or they become cold and detached, mistaking stoicism for indifference. But true stability is neither reactive nor absent. It's present, it's calm, it's rooted. A woman in her feminine energy craves a man who can hold space for her storms without losing his center. The more chaotic she feels inside, the more she needs to know. Can you handle me? Can you hold me without collapsing or trying to control me? Be the man who breathes slowly in the fire, who stays when others would flee, who listens without defending, who speaks without trying to win. That man becomes the oxygen to her fire, not because he extinguishes it, but because he fuels it with direction, not destruction. True masculinity is not about dominance, it's about steadiness, and women are drawn to it like fire to oxygen. 4. Her attraction isn't just to looks, it's to leadership. Yes, physical attraction matters, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. What truly captures a woman's interest, and keeps it, is a man's ability to lead, not control, not dominate, but lead. Leadership means direction, vision, the ability to make decisions without hesitation. A man who knows who he is, what he wants, and where he's going becomes deeply attractive. Because to the feminine, that clarity feels like safety. When you can confidently say, "Let's go here," or "I've got this handled." Without arrogance, you become a lighthouse in her world. You relieve her of the burden of constant decision-making. You show her that she can relax in your presence, not because you're overpowering, but because you're dependable. This doesn't mean being rigid or controlling. It means having a spine, having values, being decisive when it matters. A woman respects a man who can consider her input, but ultimately make the call. It shows strength, not insensitivity. True leadership also means leading your own life, your health, your finances, your purpose, your emotional world. When you lead yourself well, a woman naturally feels inspired to follow you, not out of submission, but out of trust. So, forget trying to look the part. Live the part. Lead with integrity, and attraction will follow. 5. Words that come from depth, not ego, shape her reality. You don't need clever lines, you need sincerity. In a world where men throw compliments like darts hoping something will stick, women become numb to praise. But when you speak from a place of depth, from your soul instead of your ego, you awaken something deeper in her. Telling her she's beautiful is nice, but telling her, "The way you light up when you talk about your art, that stays with me," hits differently. It's not rehearsed, it's felt. It's not flattery, it's truth. Women remember how you made them feel. If your words are surface level, they vanish quickly. But if your words are grounded in presence, they echo for days. It's not about saying a lot, it's about saying what matters. And here's the paradox. When you stop trying to impress her, you often do. When your words aren't used as bait but as bridges, she leans in. She trusts you. So, speak less from ego. Speak more from essence. Let your words reflect what you truly see. And don't say it to get her to feel something for you. Say it because it's true. That's how words become unforgettable. 6. Purpose over passion. There's something magnetic about a man who walks into a room with quiet certainty, not flashy confidence, but a silent mission. Women feel it in their bones. It's not about being loud or overly ambitious. It's about being anchored in purpose. Passion burns hot but fast, like fireworks. Purpose is different. It's the slow, steady burn of a man who knows where he's going, even if he hasn't arrived yet. You see, a lot of guys think they need to be millionaires or entrepreneurs or visionaries to attract women, but it's not about what you have. It's about what pulls you forward. A woman can sense it when a man is chasing something greater than himself. And that chase, that relentless commitment to growth, to becoming, to building, that's what draws her in. Purpose says, "I'm not here to impress you, I'm here to fulfill something." It creates a gravitational pull. The man who's focused on his path doesn't have time to prove his worth. He just lives it. And that quiet focus makes her feel something she can't explain. Safe, inspired, and curious. A man with purpose doesn't get thrown off by rejection or games. He stays grounded, and that stability makes her want to lean in. Because in a world of distraction and empty charm, purpose is rare and irresistible. 7. Leadership without control. There's a primal part of every woman that yearns to be led. Not controlled, not dominated, but led. There's a huge difference. Most men miss it. They either become pushovers or dictators. Neither works. Real leadership is about direction, clarity, and calm. It's not about barking orders. It's about making decisions that feel safe, stable, and sure. A woman wants to trust your lead, not because she's weak, but because true strength creates room for softness. When you say, "Let's go here," with conviction, not arrogance, she exhales. Not because she couldn't choose herself, but because your certainty gave her space to rest. In chaos, she wants to know you're holding the wheel, When life hits, when emotions spike, can you stay cool? Can you lead with your presence, not pressure? That's what makes her melt. That's what lets her drop her guard. It's ancient, hardwired. She doesn't want a tyrant. She wants a captain, someone who listens, adapts, and still leads. Do that, and she'll give you a kind of loyalty no game could ever win. 8. Words that create worlds. Women don't fall in love with looks alone. They fall in love with the story, the tone, the words that paint a world bigger than the one they're living in. If you can speak with intent, not scripts, not pickup lines, but with soul, she will feel it in places she didn't know were hungry. Here's the secret. Women aren't just listening to what you say. They're feeling who you are through your words. When you speak from truth, when your voice carries meaning instead of ego, it's not conversation anymore. It's connection. Tell her what you notice. Say, "There's something about the way you look away when you smile that makes me feel like you're hiding galaxies." Don't flatter, reveal. Make her feel seen through words, not like an object, but like a mystery. Because when a woman feels like your words touch the parts of her that even she hasn't understood yet, that's when she opens, that's when she stays. Not because you manipulated her, but because you made her feel something real. And that's a high no cheap line could ever match. 9. The quiet power to walk away. Here it is, the one thing that flips everything. Detachment. The ability to walk away, not from anger or manipulation, but from deep self-respect. Most men chase, most beg, most fold when they feel they're losing her. But the rare man, he lets go. Women feel this in their core, when they sense you don't need them, when they feel you choose them, but could leave if respect is lost. That creates an internal panic, not fear of you, fear of losing something sacred. It's not about playing cold. It's about standing so firmly in your worth that no one's presence makes you forget your value. Women test this, not consciously always, but instinctively. She'll push, pull, try to provoke. And when you respond with calm boundaries, with silence instead of pleas, with grace instead of groveling, she wakes up. Because nothing is more attractive than a man who loves deeply, but walks gracefully when love turns to disrespect. That man is unforgettable. That man doesn't beg, he bows out. And when a woman sees that, she doesn't just desire him, she respects him. And respect, that's the foundation of everything real. Most men try to impress women by being more, but the secret, be less, but mean it more. Less noise, more depth, less trying, more being. If you got value from this video, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment. Share it with a brother who needs to hear this. And remember, women aren't a game to win. They're a truth to understand. Be the man who gets it. She'll feel it long before you say a word.